Namo Narayani. Good morning, good evening, wherever we are all joining in from. Today is a 64th class for Sri Lalitha's Sahasranamam. Today we will be looking at her names 440 to 446. Let us begin with our prayers. Jnana-rupaya vidmahi Shaktiyam saya dhimahi Tanno Shaktiyam ma prachodayat. Om Jnana-rupaya vidmahi Shaktiyam saya dhimahi Tanno Shaktiyam ma prachodayat. Om Jnana-rupaya vidmahi Shaktiyam saya dhimahi Tanno Shaktiyam ma prachodayat. Om Sarva-mangala-mangalye Shive Sarvartha-sadhike Sharanye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Sarva-mangala-mangalye Shive Sarvartha-sadhike Sharanye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Sarva-mangala-mangalye Shive Sarvartha-sadhike Sharanye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. 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 Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Mavid Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dhyanam Sindhuraruna Vigraham Trinayanam Manikya-maulispurat-taranayaka-shekharam Smita-mukhi-mapina-vakshoruham Panibhyam-alipurna-ratna-chashakam Raktotpalam-bibhratim Saumyam Ratna-ghatastha-rakta-charanam Dhyayit Paramambikam Dhyayit Padmasanastham Vikasita Badanam Padmapatra-yatakshim Himabham Pita-vastram Karakalita-lasat Hima Padmam Varangim सर्वालङ्कारयुक्तां सततमभयतां भक्तनम्रां भवानीं श्रीविद्यां शान्तमूर्तिं सकलसुरनुतां सर्वसम्पत्प्रदात्रीं सकुङ्कुमविलेपनामलिकचुम्बिकस्तूरिकां समन्दहसितेक्षणां सचरचापपाशाङ्कुशां वशेषजनमोहिनीं अरुणमाल्यभूषोज्ज्वलां जपाकुसुमभासुरां जपविधौ स्मरेदम्बिकाम् अरुणां करुणातरङ्गिताक्षीं धृतपाशाङ्कुशपुष्पबाणचापाम् अणिमाधिभिरावृतां मयूखैरहमित्येव विभावये महिषीम् ॐ ऐं ह्रीं श्रीं ॐ नमो नारायणे ॐ श्रीं श्रीमात्रे नमः स्वाहा ॐ नमो नारायणे. Just before we start the class, I think Green Shakti needs to be unmuted. I'm getting a lot of echoes and noise from them. Be muted, yes. I'm not able to mute Green Shakti.
I'm sorry, I'm not able to mute her either. She has to do it, and I can't quite get her attention.
Can you, message her and follow through with that? Let's begin.
I've texted her, so we'll see.
Thank you. Om Namo Narayani. We start on her 440th name of Sri Lalitha. Om Śreem Kulakundālayāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem Kulakundālayāyai Kulakundālayāyai namah swaha. Namah swaha. Om Śreem Kulakundālayāyai Kulakundālayāyai namah swaha. Namah swaha. Om Śreem Kulakundālayāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem Kulakundālayāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem. Salutations to Sri Lalitha, who is in the Kulakunda. So kula is a term we have been coming across. Again, we refer back to her 90 to 95 names, where the kula is the path and kula is the lineage. And here, the kula, the path, we are talking about from the Muladhara to the Sahasrara to the Brahmarantra, the whole entire path of the Kundalini Shakthi rising through. And this Kundalini Shakthi that she is, that cosmic power, each of us has that Shakti within each one of us. And she is in the form of a coiled, like a coiled serpent, 3.5 circles of coiled serpent. She rests in the Muladhara, and in the Muladhara, the chakra, there is a space where exactly she resides. There is a kind of a cavity. Those who have experienced, been there, seen it, they had described it as a kind of a cavity, a depression in that region. And there is a tiny hole there. And the serpent with its head facing down, she, the Kundalini Shakthi, she resides, she rests there. Aalayam, generally we refer to as Aalayam, is temple. Wherever the divine resides, it is an Aalayam, it is a temple. When the divine resides, that place becomes a temple. It is the place she rests, she sleeps. Either she has not awoken yet, she is still sleeping, or in those who have mastered this path of the kula, going up to the Sahasrara, the union of the Shiva Shakti happening within each, and then she comes back down to the Muladhara and she resides, rests in the Kulakunda. Kuntam is that space, the hollow. We call it Yaga Kuntam. So that space, that cavity there is the Kuntam. This is the Kulakundam, so it is in the path of the Muladhara, in the Muladhara. And Kula here also refers to this path, which is the Sushumna, the three major pathways. Like there are 72,000 Nadi pathways, energy pathways described in the human system. And there are three main of these 72,000, three are main, which is Ida, Pingala, and Sushumna. Ida, Pingala compared to the sympathetic, parasympathetic systems. And in the center, which has not been identified or talked about yet in the scientific realm, is Sushumna. And Sushumna is this path in the spinal cord, inside the vertebra, and it starts from the Muladhara and goes up to the Brahmarandra beyond the Sahasrara. So this Kula path is the Sushumna path, and she is the Kundalini energy. She resides and she rests in the Muladhara, in the Kulakunda, and then she rises up in the path. And we have seen in the earlier names how she rises from each of these chakras to rise above. As the energy rises above, it goes through these chakras and she breaks through these knots and the energy rises. And this whole process is a process of becoming one with the divine. It is an internal journey of each individual soul with that potential to merge with the divine. So that is the indication in this name. She rests within each one of us. Her 441st name, Om Śreem Kaula mārga-tatpara-sēvitāyai namah swaha. 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 Om Śreem. Salutations to Sri Lalitha, who is worshipped by those who are devoted to the Kaula tradition. So we saw again earlier in her names, the Kaula path, those who focus on, just focusing on rising the energy through the centers. Ultimately, they all have to, whatever practices one practices to go back to the source. We have seen earlier her 98th name, Om Śreem Samaya-chara-tatpara-yai namah swaha. This is what is practiced in all the ritualistic processes, all the temples, all the pujas, the yagams, abhishekams, all this is the Samaya-chara path, where we see all these external rituals, but it is rising. We see each individual as a Sri Chakra, and we are raising the energy through this system of this body that we have been gifted. This is truly a gift, because you may have the concept, the ideas of how to do it, but unless you have this body, it just remains mere information. When you have the body, this becomes allows for this process to happen, for the energy to rise, to merge with the divine. That's the Samaya-chara, which we know. The Kaula is the path where they follow very specific, very strict ritualistic practices. These are Tantra practices. Tantra is a huge word that encompasses so many things in the practice of the applied sciences, of the application of this process of going back to the source. And a part of it is the Kaula part, which describes specific rituals where we see her outside, and through using these tools, we use that to rise the energy inside. So those who follow this Tantra part, it involves, among other things, sexuality as well. That's why it gets a very bad name. And it requires those who follow this path need tremendous amount of sense control. They rise beyond the senses using it. So it is not meant for everyone. And it's very easy to get drawn to the senses, those who get into the tantric practices. So it is not easy for everyone, because the focus from the divine can shift to the senses easily. So it's like, some describe it as a path that is like walking on the razor's edge, because you need that kind of dispassionate focus to go through the senses and go beyond the senses to the divine. So this is the Kaula path. And for those who practice, Marga is the path, Kaula Marga, those who practicing the tantric practices, Tatpara-sēvitāyai. She is worshipped by those. So she is worshipped by everyone on every path. It doesn't matter which path it is, because ultimately she, like all rivers reach the ocean, all paths reach her. And her name here is Kaula mārga-tatpara-sēvitāyai. So all those who are in the path of the Kaula worship, tantric worship, they worship the divine cosmic mother. And those who are in the Samaya-chara-tatpara, they also worship her. And there is a third path, which is the Mishra path. Mishra is a mix of both the Samaya-chara and the Kaula. It's a mix of both with its own midway kind of practices. So whatever path it is, ultimately she is the only source everyone has to go back to. her 442nd name. Om Śreem kumāra-gaṇanāthāmbāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem kumāra-gaṇanāthāmbāyai Gaṇanatha-mbāyai namah swaha. Namah swaha. Om Śreem kumāra-gaṇanāthāmbāyai Gaṇanatha-mbāyai namah swaha. Namah swaha. Om Śreem kumāra-gaṇanāthāmbāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem kumāra-gaṇanāthāmbāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem. Salutations to Sri Lalitha, who is the mother of Kumara and Gananatha. So Gananatha, it's TA, but here it's THA, so Natha, there is a stress on the tha, Gananatha. There are two ways to interpret this, Kumara-gaṇanātha, Kumara and Gananatha, or kumāra-gaṇanāthāmbāyai. So we will look at both. So Kumara is Kumara is a name given to, like Shiva and Parvati, when creation started, they get two sons. One is Ganesha. We are all familiar with the elephant-headed Ganesha, Ganapati, and Kumara. Kumara is Subramanya, Karthikeya. He has many names. Skanda, Muruga. All this is different names for Kumara. And here, there are subtleties of what is happening. To reach her also, we need to go through these two energies, the sons, aspects of Kumara and Ganesha. Like anything we start, it has to be, everyone says, the divine says, start with Ganesha. So he clears the obstacles. And anything, even when you're looking at the path of the Sushumna, the Kulakunda, the path, Muladhara is where the mantra there, it is the mantra of Ganesha. So this is the foundation, the root. When that is well fixed, we get the blessings of Ganesha. We are anchored in alignment with the Ganesha, the Muladhara. Then the rest of it flows. The rest of it is in synchrony. The path is cleared for this, whatever process we take up, even to go to the divine, to get the materialistic things. The first thing we do always is to seek the blessings of Ganesha. And Kumara said that he is the army general. And Shiva, Parvati, the Purusha, and the Prakriti, the unmanifest Prakriti, before it's fully manifest, this intention has just started. When these two join, Kumara is formed, he is born, and that is the ego. So they say when you pray to Kumara, Karthikeya, it helps to dissolve and overcome the ego, the obstacles of going through the ego. The ego is needed for the process, but many times it becomes an obstacle when we don't, when we allow the ego to rule us rather than the soul to rule us. And I'd like to share this from Ama's Connect with the Divine, Volume 7. Ama's describing about Durga Shakti. Then she says, so too with Ganesha. When do we need Ganesha or pray to him? When there are obstacles which we can't push aside and clear. Then what we ask for, then we ask for the help of the elephant for that which we cannot do, which is hard for us, but is easy for the elephant. So that is why you have the name Gananatha. Gana means something big or heavy. So when you say Ganapati, it has two meanings. He is the head of all the angels, all the devatas. There is another meaning for Ganapati. He is the force full of power and strength, Gana big. So when Ganesha is prayed to and Ganesha clears the way, then the path is easy to flow through, is clear for us. And she is the mother of both Ganesha and Kumara. We have seen in in the earlier names, 77th name, just to recapitulate, Om Śreem Kameshwara Mukhaloka Kalpita Shri Ganeshwarayai namah swaha. We saw during the Bandasura Vadam, the slaying of Bandasura, he keeps coming up with different things, and her army with Mantrini, Varahi, all the cavalry, we saw all that, her chariots, they are destroying all his brothers, his sons, his armies. And then what's happening? He creates a Vigna Yantra. Vigna is obstacle. So, because Ganesha is destroys obstacles, he is called Vignesh. He clears it. Ishvara, for all that, he clears it. So this Bandasura is creating obstacles to win the war. And what are these obstacles? The Vigna Yantra he places amidst the army of Sri Lalitha. And this causes sleep, laziness, disinterest. This yantra creates all these negative energies, so the army becomes weak. And when they go to Sri Lalitha Narayani, Mantrini tells her this is what's happened. He's placed a Vigna Yantra there. She looks at Kameshwara Mukha Loka. Kameshwara, Shiva, Kameshwara, she looks at Mukha, his face, Loka. She looks at him with that beautiful smile, and just out of that look of that beautiful smile, Kalpita creates Sri Ganeshwara. Ganeshwara is born just by her looking so sweetly at Kameshwara, and he manifests. So Ganesha is born, and he comes the next one. He destroys the Vigna Yantra and then goes on to win the slaying of the entire Bandasura, Shunyaka, his city. Everything is destroyed, all the negativities. So Ganesha is born, and when the Purusha, the Brahman, and just the intention to create begins, that Avyaktam, it's called. Vyaktam is manifest. Avyaktam is, it's in an unmanifest state, but it is not in the Brahman state. The plan or the intention to create has started, but it has not materialized. That thought form has come. In that state, ego manifests. And when ego manifests, Skanda, Kumara has manifested. So the birth of both Ganesha and Kumara happens. And she is the mother of these two. Another interpretation for the same name of hers, Om Śreem kumāra-gaṇanāthāmbāyai swaha. If instead of looking at it as Kumara and Gananatha, if we break it up and look at it as Ku Ku is inferior, lesser, not so good. Ku. Mārga-gaṇa. Mārga-gaṇa is all these inferior passions that bind us to the lower realms. Mārga-gaṇanāthāmbāyai. Natha is the Lord. So the lords of all these inferior passions, Amba, she is the Amba. She binds these lords who pull down all the beings through the inferior passions. So she helps to overcome these inferior passions that pull us down. She binds those forces that reign over us. So she, in this case, becomes the Ganesha energy. She clears these, allowing us to go through this journey of going back to the source. We will now look at her 443rd name. Om Śreem tuṣṭyai namah swaha. Om Śreem tuṣṭyai namah swaha. Namah swaha. Om Śreem tuṣṭyai namah swaha. Namah swaha. Om Śreem tuṣṭyai namah swaha. Om Śreem tuṣṭyai namah swaha. Om Śreem. Salutations to Sri Lalitha, who is contentment, Tushti. And each of the next 7 names is a character of hers, is a personality, a trait, a quality of hers. And each of those qualities is worshipped as a deity. So there is Tushti Devi who is worshipped. And this quality of contentment comes, and then as a result of contentment, happiness flows. So she's also seen as Tushti, the one who is happy, the one who is content. And this quality of contentment is such a gift. It is not come by easily, because our mind is seeking, our heart is seeking something, and it is restless. One thing comes, and then when we achieve it, the next one, the mind is always churning. And to have the state of contentment, her quality of Tushti, is a great, great gift. When the mind settles down, it comes to rest in the heart, and then it's so easy, so much easier to connect and go back to the source. Till there is no contentment, it's a struggle. It's a constant struggle. You take a few steps, then you slide back a few steps, and you slide back because there is no contentment, and it keeps churning, and our focus is lost, our energy is lost when there is no contentment. So this Tushti of hers, Om Śreem tuṣṭyai namah swaha, is such a wonderful quality of hers, characteristic of hers. And it's something we can all really pray to receive as a gift from the Divine Mother. And again, to share from Volume 7 of Connect with the Divine. Thus, one divine has so many different characters. Then, depending on what we need, we call upon that particular divine character. Thus, for every character, the energy starts from the mantra. As Amma said before, if there is the tree, there must be the seed. Similarly, for the divine which exists in the whole universe, for the divine, for its character, there is the seed which is called mantras. So when we chant mantras, bij, seed mantras, or mula mantras, the source mantras, it creates that particular character of the divine within us. That is why when someone asks for wealth, for blessings of wealth, then they are asked to chant the Lakshmi mantra. So when we chant the Lakshmi mantra, it creates the character of Lakshmi. Lakshana means the full form, featuring all the auspicious characteristics the whole complete form holds. This force, which has the full form, is called Lakshmi. When we pray to her or when we chant to her, our life becomes fulfilled. When there is something negative, the form called upon to remove this negativity is called Durga. Thus, the chanting of Mula mantras creates particular divine energies within us. So when we create that energy, it is like sowing the seed in the soil and watering it. And so what happens then? Our heart and soul are like the soil. Once you sow the divine seed there and then you chant, which is like pouring the water, it grows into that character. When that character grows, all our human characteristics will disappear. What character will we get? The divine character. So we are looking at all these mantras that have been given to us through the Lalitha Sahasranamam. And Tushti is the mantra that is embedded with her character of contentment, and such a precious, precious gift that character is. So as we keep chanting the Lalitha Sahasranamam, we are chanting these mantras, we are sowing these seeds, we are imbibing those characters through these mantras, through these names into each of us as we meditate on or we are with the mantras, with these names. And there is this other, her names come in Lalitha Sahasranamam, these mantras are imbibed in so many of the scriptures, and the Devi Mahatmyam, which is the whole story of the cosmic mother. There again it comes, Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Tushti Rupena Samstita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha. I bow down to you, the Devi, who is in the entirety of creation, who is in the form of Tushti, resides in the form of Tushti. There. So this Tushti is a very, very beautiful character of us. That contentment which brings everything else with it. And in that contentment, gratitude is imbibed in it, happiness is imbibed in it, the mind settling down into the heart is imbibed in it. It's all inherent just when this Tushti starts growing. As we sow it in us and it starts growing, we reap the characteristics of the Tushti. Her next name is another quality. Om Śreem puṣṭyai namah swaha. 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 Om Śreem. Salutations to Sri Lalitha, who is strength, who's nourishment, who's the fullness, and is also the deity Tushti. So this character of us, Tushti, means that healthy strength, when, many of these Ayurvedic, Siddha, or in yoga, whatever we do, it is to bring strength to our body, strength to our mind, that Tushti. Even when they say, oh, to increase Tushti, take this herbs or this preparation, legume, whatever, because it increases Tushti. It is a very common usage, the parlance of Tushti in the therapeutic, in the healing terms. This Tushti is that strength, the body, this tool we have, this body, this tool we have, the mind, unless it is strong, healthy, energetic, it is difficult to go back to the source, to raise the energy. So to bring the mind into alignment, the body into alignment, the yoga, the senses into alignment, this whole process brings focus into our mission and purpose when we focus on going back to the source. So anything we want to accomplish, that focus, that alignment has to come into it. That mission statement, the mind, the thoughts, the words, our actions are synchronized to reach that. If they are scattered, then you don't achieve the goal. Here, that pushti, that strength, nourishment is needed. That alignment, that totality, that cohesiveness with that strength and that focus is needed. And she is the pushti. When all the body parts and all the different tissues, cells, and they're all in that state of pushti, of strength and health, then automatically the joy, everything, her qualities manifest. They are able to come out. The energy pathways are clear to release what is inherent, her qualities. The seed is within us, and for it to come through, we need the pushti, the strength for her to come through. She's tushti, she is pushti. Her 445th name, Om Śreem Matyai namah swaha. 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 Om Śreem. Salutations to Sri Lalitha, who is intelligence, Mati, and is also worshipped as the deity Mati. So this intelligence, when it is just information, that intelligence is different. Here the Mati is imbibed with the wisdom, that which comes with the experience. And when the information is experienced, put into use, then the Mati, you use the intelligence from the experience to apply it to life, to the world we live in. And this, the buddhi, the Mati that comes from that is her. We use this, we come across Mati in different forms earlier. And one of the names is Bhanumati. And mind always goes with the moon. Bhanu is again the moon, Bhanumati, like the moon, the mind is beautiful, radiant, and it has that quiet, calming, soothing, pleasing state. And the Mati is her quality. Her last name for this week, 446th name. Om Śreem tuṣṭyai namah swaha. Om Śreem tuṣṭyai namah swaha. Namah swaha. Om Śreem tuṣṭyai namah swaha. Namah swaha. Om Śreem tuṣṭyai namah swaha. Om Śreem tuṣṭyai namah swaha. Om Śreem. Salutations to Sri Lalitha, who is courage, fortitude. She is steadfastness, Dhriti, and she is worshipped as Dhriti Devi. So each of her qualities becomes a Devi, and we worship each of the qualities as the Divine Mother. And this steadfastness is again a very, very precious quality, a gift. And as we saw in the earlier, where we need that focus, the puṣṭyai, the strength, anything to achieve anything, we need that steadfastness. And dhriti, that strength, that courage is her quality. And she is always in the state of dhriti. She is part of her quality. It is one of her qualities. It is used, it is needed to administer the universe. So her focus is on this. Even though with a blink of an eye, she can create the universe, destroy universes, it is effortless for her. That focus, that steadfastness, that intention, setting that intention, it is part of her creation, and she rules it. She is Ishwari of everything. So she's Bhuvaneshwari, she's all the Ishwaris. So it is her quality of steadfastness and this courage and fortitude that allows this whole creation to happen. So she is Dhriti, and when we are addressing her, you are Dhriti, it becomes Dhrityai. Om Śreem Dhrityai namah swaha. Again, it's a beautiful quality to aspire to and to sow the seed and for it to grow and flourish in each of us, the steadfastness, instead of being scattered. Again, even in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna talks about how when the mind is scattered, you don't reach your destination. It's like a ship caught in a storm. This focus on bringing the senses together, the mind together, that setting the intention, the sankalpa, the steadfastness is such a wonderful quality that helps accomplish all our goals. We need this steadfastness when we take up something. Otherwise, we get so scattered, we staggered. It's like the rabbit and the tortoise story. That steadfastness is what accomplishes anything we take up. And it's a beautiful quality of us that we can all aspire to. Let us chant Sri Lalitha's names for this week. Offer our chants to Sri Lalitha Narayani. Om Śreem Kuľakundālayāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem Kulakundālayāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem Kulakundālayāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem Kaula mārga-tatpara-sēvitāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem Kaula mārga-tatpara-sēvitāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem Kaula mārga-tatpara-sēvitāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem kumāra-gaṇanāthāmbāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem kumāra-gaṇanāthāmbāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem kumāra-gaṇanāthāmbāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem tuṣṭyai namah swaha. Om Śreem tuṣṭyai namah swaha. Om Śreem tuṣṭyai namah swaha. Om Śreem puṣṭyai namah swaha. Om Śreem puṣṭyai namah swaha. Om Śreem puṣṭyai namah swaha. Om Śreem matyai namah swaha. Om Śreem matyai namah swaha. Om Śreem matyai namah swaha. Om Śreem dhrityai namah swaha. Om Śreem dhrityai namah swaha. Om Śreem dhrityai namah swaha. Om sarvamangala-mangalye शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते नमः स्वाहा। ॐ ज्ञानरूपाय विद्महे शक्ति-अंशाय धीमहि तन्नो शक्ति-अम्मा प्रचोदयात्। नमः स्वाहा। ॐ नमो नारायणे। ॐ नमो नारायणे। ॐ नमो नारायणे। Let us offer our chants, our prayers to Sri Lalitha Narayani and seek her blessings for all of us, all our loved ones, all of humanity, all the sentient beings, all of Mother Nature, the whole being of Mother Earth and all the worlds to come into and be in this fold of spirituality, to gain this wisdom, to live this wisdom of karma, of thinking good, speaking good, doing good, to receive this gift of devotion, to connect with the divine within us, to connect with her, the divine within each and every one of us, each other, to connect with her, the divine in the whole of the creation, to always be in the state of the soulful qualities of all her characteristics of bliss, peace, joy, wisdom, gratitude, puṣṭyai, Riti, all her qualities through the grace and blessings of Sri Lalitha Narayani, through the grace and blessings of Sri Shakti Amma Narayani. Om Namo Narayana. Are there any questions? If there are no questions, we can end the recording.